Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the information you provide and, well, really dig into it to pull out what's crucial.
Yep, getting straight to the good stuff.
So today, we're diving into something pretty hot right now, using artificial intelligence to actually generate income.
Right, our source for this is documento01yt.txt, and it seems to promise a look beyond just the hype.
Exactly. Because AI, it's everywhere in discussions, isn't it? Sometimes it feels a bit intimidating.
Oh, definitely. The source kind of likens it to a hammer,
Yeah.
Super useful if you know how to use it, but potentially problematic otherwise.
That's a good way to put it. And a core idea from the source, right at the start, is that sticking to old solutions, well, it just won't cut it for new problems.
Absolutely. It positions learning AI not just as some optional skill, but almost as a necessity now, especially for making money and, importantly, saving time.
Time, which, as the source rightly points out, is money. Okay, so let's get practical. This isn't theoretical. The source highlights 5 specific AI tools you can start using, like today, to earn money.
And there's a little teaser in there, too, mentions the third tool as a favorite. But the first one is kind of foundational, essential to master, it says.
Got it. So our mission here is clear. Cut through the noise, give you actionable insights on these 5 tools, and really explore how they can be used for income. Practical application, not just buzzwords.
Let's do it. We want to understand what each tool does, fundamentally, and how that translates into, actual money-making opportunities. First up, build your store.
Build your store. Okay, sounds straightforward, but it tackles something that's historically been a real pain point for online businesses, right?
Totally. Think about setting up an online shop the old way. You're either, drowning in code for weeks.
Or spending a small fortune on a web developer.
Exactly. And even the platforms meant to simplify it, like Shopify or Wix, they still have a learning curve. They still take up your time.
So how does Build Your Store change that? What's the AI angle?
Well, the source claims this AI can design, build, and write everything for a functional website. In minutes, just based on your prompts.
Everything. Seriously. No design skills needed. No coding.
That's the pitch. It apparently handles automatic color selection, typography.
And get this, the source says it generates product descriptions optimized for conversion, specifically mentioning Shopify compatibility.
Right. So your role shifts. Instead of building from scratch, you're iterating, correcting what the AI gives you.
Like having a super fast assistant doing the groundwork. That frees you up considerably.
And the ways to make money with it, according to the source, are twofold. First, obviously, launch your own online business if you have a product idea, physical or digital.
This sounds like a way to get it live incredibly fast, lowering that barrier to entry.
Massively. But the second way is maybe even more interesting for some, offering website creation as a service.
Ah, so building sites for other businesses.
Yeah. The source notes entrepreneurs pay, anywhere from $200 to $5,000 sometimes for designers?
Which can take weeks or months.
Right. But with Build Your Store, you could potentially offer that service with way less time and cost involved, a huge potential margin increase.
That could really shake things up for local businesses needing websites. The source even has a little call to action for this, right? A cart emoji?
Yep. If that idea resonates with you, the listener. Okay, moving on to tool number 2, Meet Journey.
Meet Journey. And the context here, the source reminds us, is how incredibly visual our world has become.
Totally. YouTube thumbnails, Instagram photos, digital ads. It's all images, videos, graphics now. Text alone often doesn't cut it.
And making good visuals, traditionally that took skill. You needed complex software expertise.
Expensive software sometimes, too. It wasn't accessible for everyone.
So Meet Journey steps in how?
Its main thing is creating professional quality images just from text descriptions. You type what you want, it generates the image.
That's pretty powerful. How do you monetize that, though, according to the source?
2 main ways again. First, generate images, illustrations, graphics, and sell them. Think platforms like Shutterstock, Adobe Stock.
Or even Etsy, right? For more creative stuff.
Exactly. And the source gives a really specific example, which I thought was clever. Using Meet Journey to create adult mandala designs.
Okay. Like for coloring books?
Precisely. Then using something like Canva to compile them into a book and publishing it on Amazon KDP.
KDP Kindle Direct Publishing. So you upload it, Amazon handles printing and shipping if someone buys it.
Yep, and you keep a good chunk of the royalties, like 60–70%. Plus, you could use those images with print-on-demand services, too.
For putting the designs on mugs, T-shirts, canvases, that kind of thing, without holding inventory.
Right. It's about stacking these tools. But the second monetization route is offering graphic design services, even if you're not a designer per se.
How does that work?
You use Midjourney, maybe combined with other AI tools like Adobe Firefly, to create high-impact visuals for businesses or personal brands. Help them improve their online look.
So generating logos, social media posts, ad visuals.
Yeah, stuff that can be done quickly. The source does say you need practice with the prompts, and it probably works best as part of a bigger service package.
Makes sense. And the call to action here was a paintbrush emoji, I think.
That's the one. Captures the visual creativity aspect.
Okay, on to the third set, and this was hinted as a favorite. Autopot and Opus Clip.
Yes, and they work together, focusing on short-form video content, which, let's face it, is huge right now.
Dominating social media.
Yep.
The source even mentioned their own team's success with viral short clips. It definitely works.
So content creation has those 3 stages, right? Pre-production planning, actual production or filming, and then post-production editing.
And editing is often the bottleneck.
Exactly. That's where these tools come in the post-production phase. Many businesses struggle here.
It's time-consuming, needs technical skills.
So Autopot, its job is to automatically cut audiovisual content. The example given is a 2-camera podcast setup.
Okay, so syncing the audio, switching camera angles.
Yeah.
That usually takes ages manually.
Right. Autopot speeds that up significantly. They even say they use it for their own podcast edits, which is a strong endorsement. Maybe still needs a little human touch-up, but it handles the bulk.
Okay, and Opus Clip, what does that add?
Opus Clip takes longer videos, like, say, this deep dive if it were video or a webinar, and its AI analyzes it to find the best bits.
The potentially viral moments.
Exactly. It then automatically creates short, punchy clips ready for social media, adds subtitles, dynamic zooms, all that stuff.
Whoa. So hours of editing turned into seconds. That's huge for repurposing content.
Massive. So how do you earn money? Well, with Autopot, you could offer podcast editing services, but much faster.
More clients, potentially.
Or use Opus Clip to create and sell short-form video packages. Take a client's long video, turn it into 10, 20 social clips, essentially run a content agency without being a pro editor yourself.
And the source mentioned people they know, former editors, are actually doing this successfully.
Yeah, it validates the model. You'd need to learn the software a bit, obviously, but it's presented as much more accessible.
Makes sense. The call to action for this one.
A camera emoji, very fitting.
All right, tool number 4, ClickUp. This shifts focus a bit, doesn't it, towards productivity.
Yeah, tackling that difference between just being busy and actually being productive. Wasted time is a universal problem.
And there's so much interest in organization and productivity hacks online, as the source notes.
So ClickUp is positioned as a tool to automate and centralize your work. They mention using it to organize their own distributed team.
Okay, so project management, but with an AI layer.
Exactly. The AI in ClickUp can apparently analyze workflows, keep track of tasks, suggest priorities. It can even help draft content.
Really? Like what?
Examples given were like brainstorming a business idea and having ClickUp break it down into tasks with deadlines, or getting an email and having ClickUp turn it into a task automatically.
Huh. Like a virtual assistant baked into your workflow.
Pretty much. Now, making money with it 3 ways highlighted. First, if you're a business owner or freelancer yourself.
Just using it saves you time, which means more capacity for clients or more projects or
just working less, which the source author notes is their personal goal.
Nice. What's the second way?
Offer workflow automation and optimization services to others. If you get really good with ClickUp, help businesses that are disorganized.
Is there a market for that?
Apparently, yes. The source mentions people making a living just building ClickUp workflows for companies and that they have hired external consultants for it themselves.
Okay, so there's demand for ClickUp experts. And the third way?
Creating and selling ClickUp templates. Because you can share pre-built workflows and dashboards.
So you design an efficient system for, say, managing social media and sell that template. Passive income potential.
Exactly. It all ties back to the value of time and organization. Helping yourself or others be more efficient.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
The emoji for this one.
A pencil emoji for planning and productivity.
Okay, last but not least, tool number 5. One many people will know. ChatGPT.
Yep, the big one.
Yeah.
But the key insight from the source isn't just using ChatGPT, it's about leveraging specialized GPTs, custom versions.
Exporting GPTs, it says. What's the difference?
They use a great analogy. You wouldn't eat cereal out of any old container, you'd use a bowl, right? A tool fit for purpose.
Okay.
Specialized GPTs are like that bowl. They give much better, more targeted results for specific tasks than the general off-the-shelf ChatGPT.
Got it. So how do you make money with these specialized versions?
Two main routes discussed. First, pick a niche and use ChatGPT for creative writing tasks.
Like what kind of writing?
Offering services like social media copywriting, blog articles, detailed research summaries, newsletter creation, that sort of thing.
But couldn't companies just use ChatGPT themselves?
The source addresses that skepticism. Big creators, companies, they always need content. They might have ideas, but often outsource the actual writing and research.
So you become the person who takes their ideas and uses specialized GPTs to execute them.
Exactly. And it's not just copy-paste. The source stresses. It's about iteration, fact-checking, refining the AI's output into quality work. But the heavy lifting, the initial drafting, is way faster.
Okay, that makes sense. And the second income avenue?
Creating a specialized AI product yourself and becoming an AI consultant.
A custom GPT solution for businesses.
Yeah. The source shares they recently hired someone to build a custom GPT just for their business for brainstorming and speeding up content creation.
Wow. How do you even do that?
Two ways mentioned. You could become an expert at using existing GPTs with really smart prompts to create a specific methodology for a client. Or, if you have the technical skills, actually program a custom GPT from scratch.
Programming sounds more involved.
It definitely requires more technical know-how, but both approaches, the source says, can generate income by providing these tailored AI solutions.
Very interesting. The emoji here.
A brain emoji makes sense for intelligence and custom knowledge.
Okay, so those are the 5 tools. What are the big takeaways as we wrap up?
A really crucial point the source makes is that these aren't just theories. These are methods they've seen work in the real world. There are existing markets, existing clients for these services.
That's important. It's not just speculative. And they also stress something about how you use these tools, right? The input.
Absolutely fundamental. The quality of what you get out of an AI depends directly on the quality of what you put in, the instructions you give it.
They use that analogy about life outcomes depending on your inputs.
Yeah, and then a concrete example. Asking AI, give me a muscle building routine, is useless.
Versus giving it specifics.
Yeah,
Your experience level, goals, time available, equipment, preferences.
exactly. The more detail and clarity you provide, the better the result. Garbage in, garbage out applies massively to AI.
Good reminder. Any other key advice?
They suggest trying all the tools, seeing what clicks, but then really focusing. Become a specialist in one or maybe two to maximize potential.
Don't spread yourself too thin.
Right. And the overall intention seems to be providing practical strategies you can use now, while also kind of trusting that you, the listener, will find your own unique ways to apply them based on your own situation.
Yeah, it comes back to that idea that long-term success isn't just about the current business trend, but about building real skills and capabilities.
Definitely. Which kind of leads to a final thought, maybe, for you listening.
Go on.
Based on all these different applications, website building, visuals, video editing, productivity, specialized writing, AI consulting, what skills or MLS do you already have that could be, amplified or even transformed by plugging in one of these AI tools?
That's a great question to ponder.
Yeah.
So just to recap quickly, build your store for e-commerce, Meet Journey for visuals, Autopot and Opus Clip for short video, ClickUp for productivity, and specialized ChatGPT for content and consulting.
Hopefully this deep dive has given you some real clarity and maybe some actionable ideas for navigating the world of AI and income.
We really hope so. We encourage you to think about which of these might resonate and maybe start exploring one a bit further.
Definitely worth looking into.
Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.